Well, 45-7 just happened. Not much else you can really say about the blowout. I think everyone played pretty terrible. Besides, a few players like the run stoppers, for usual, playing good. Bernard McKinney kind of stood out with that, chasing down the wide receiver. DeAndre Hopkins, again, doing what he does best, freaking beat Ramsey. Um, but I mean, what else can you say? I mean, it's already bad enough. This team had a bad offensive line, had no quarterback, had a terrible secondary. But when you go out there and don't try, because that's what it really looked like coming from the secondary. I feel like the rest of the team did try, but they just didn't or couldn't execute because the Jaguars were just simply the better team. And the secondary is the only exception. I mean, it's okay. I understand if you get beat by Antonio Brown, by Julio Jones, by Odell Beckham, those type of players. But when you're getting beat by the Jaguars' fourth and fifth string wide receiver, then we really have a problem, a huge problem. I mean, O'Brien was able to at least get the guys to actually play in the second half because the first half was terrible. And I guarantee you, man, if O'Brien and Doug Marrone weren't friends, Doug Marrone would have fucking ramped that score. Not even playing. Like, that was just a pathetic performance by the team all around. Just terrible. It shows there's obviously some holes, and this is probably a blessing in disguise. Like, the way the season has gone down. Why? Well, because let's say if Watson kept playing. If Watson kept playing right now, our record would be like what? 9-5, maybe 10-4, around there somewhere. That's where our record would be right now. And we'd be really happy with our record. Haha, look at our record. Look, we're a good team. But then we'd be ignoring the holes we have in the secondary and in the offensive line. And then all of a sudden Deshaun Watson becomes one of those quarterbacks that just mask all the issues for the team, kind of like Russell Wilson up there in Seattle. And maybe it was just a good thing, man, that Watson got hurt. I know it kind of sucks to say it that way, but yeah. And honestly, even with Watson, we probably don't win this game, dude. This secondary, man, like, God, like this game was a result of everything that was wrong with the Texans coming to light. Why? Offensive line, ever since that Baltimore game, just couldn't run the ball. Ever since that Baltimore game, we haven't been able to run the ball. Offensive line hasn't been able to run block, and that happened again today. Pass blocking wise, offensive line isn't that good. It came out again today. Secondary sucks, and they came out again today. And the pass rush hasn't been there all season. And maybe it would have gotten going if Merciless and Watt would have stayed healthy. But they're not healthy, so pass rush is another issue right now. And they weren't able to get pressure on Bortles, and that's why Bortles tore up this defense. That's pathetic. Like, how do you get torn up by Blake Bortles? And it's funny because they interviewed Jadeveon Clowney after the game. I'm like, do you think Bortles is progressing? He's trash. Not even kidding, dude. But I think the one thing I'm getting out of this whole game is the Nick Martin injury, ankle injury. Looks pretty bad. I think O'Brien said it was pretty serious. But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I got out of this game that we didn't already know. Or yeah, pretty much, like, we already knew all this about the team. Like, if I keep on going, I'll just pretty much be repeating what I've been saying ever since Watson got hurt. But yeah. And fire of Rabel. Thank you for watching, and Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later. Fuck Vrabel.